Thanks. Stop! Thanks for not tipping! Hey, I'll give you whatever you want. Come on, dude. Stop talking for real. Stop talking. Give me cars. Yes, come on, bro. I'm rich. Hey, I'll give you whatever you want. Come on, dude. I'm hanging out with my homeboy Pace Morby and Landon and Jesse Boeckle. These guys are incredible luxury renovators here in Las Vegas. Obviously, these guys were super excited because they kidnapped me. I told them I was going to hang out with them, but they wanted to make it dramatic, I guess.
We had to make it a little bit more exciting. We are in Vegas.
I mean, okay, first and foremost, what the
Wonderful way to start,
You
I
know,
think.
we didn't hurt you, did we?
I mean, it hurt my feelings a little bit, but otherwise, I'm super excited to be here with you guys.
Yeah, you
nice
as well,
to meet
man.
you guys in person.
You too.
Y'all crushed it on Wholesale Hotline, by the way. We had so many people DMing us and letting us know that now they're feeling super fired up about getting into wholesale in the luxury space, right? And so it would be great for you guys to kind of chop it up and break it down for the audience and let them know, hey, what kind of money can you make wholesaling luxury houses? What are the best marketing channels to find these deals? What are the trap doors and what are the little things that you're looking for to make sure that you don't step in the wrong spot? And what kind of EMD and what things should people be prepared to have available for them? Because we've got Pace Morby here, who is the leader of the Gator tribe. And I think this is an awesome opportunity for the Gator lenders and wholesalers to get together, because the Gator lenders, they're sitting on cash for EMD and they want to participate in these deals, guys. So if you're watching and you're like, what kind of EMD are we talking when you do a luxury flip?
So the EMD's honestly not very high. It's like every other standard deal that we do. We put anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 down EMD, even on $1 million plus deals.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, if you're just getting started, getting your hands on $5,000 or $10,000 isn't like, it's not that easy, right? And so, guys, make sure that you're connecting with. How do people find Gator lenders, Pace, if they want to do and squat up with a Gator lender?
They go in the Creative Finance with Pace Morby Facebook group, and we got the Gator tribe in there, just ready to chomp and give you guys money for your deals.
There you go.
Ready to chomp.
That's
so. What Jamil's talking about, guys, is that there's a lot of times wholesalers are like, I know I can get this deal under contract, but the first thing the escrow company is going to ask for, or the seller, or when you're working with real estate agents, Jamil, and you're doing agent outreach, do you think agents are okay with you not having EMD on your contracts?
Absolutely not. It's the requirement not only for professionalism, but like if you want to at all appear like you know what you're doing, you got to be able to have access to that EMD fast, right? And so, guys, don't wait until you're about to put something under contract to connect with a Gator lender and get your money. Like, make sure that you've got these guys lined up and have your guys' deal figured out prior to. Don't start negotiating and figuring out your terms with a Gator lender before, like, in the middle of your contract, right? Get this done before you start your agent outreach and before you actually start reaching out to get these deals under contract.
You know what's cool about this business is that you can make so much money in 5 different avenues. So wholesaling a luxury flip to people like the Bulkley brothers. By the way, you guys check out their YouTube channel. Is it the Bulkley brothers on YouTube?
It is.
Okay, guys, let's get them over 20,000 subscribers, okay? Go over there, subscribe to their YouTube channel. They'll teach you everything you need to know about luxury flips and actually a lot of wholesale deals they do as well. So their primary source of finding deals, like Jamil teaches, is going out and doing agent outreach.
Right.
So you can be a wholesaler and still flip a contract or assign a contract to a Boeckle brother or a luxury flipper. So here's my question. Are you guys buying land as a luxury flipper, or are you guys buying existing homes and you're renovating? Are those 2 different business strategies?
They're definitely 2 different. For us and our business model, what we found to be the most successful for us is going after dated properties already existing and bringing and breathing new life into them with our renovation. So we don't have to go and source land and worry about ground up. All we're really doing is going in and updating those cosmetics to the house.
Which is, we're actually going to one of their properties right now. Do you guys have listed for how much money?
$5.5 million.
Dang.
$5.5 million.
Just hit the market.
What kind of profit margin are we talking on a $5.5 million renovation?
If we get the $5.5 million, it's going to be somewhere around 1.2, 1.25. We're happy to land net.
Yeah.
We're happy to land anywhere between 5 and 5.5.
Right.
Wow. So you can make $1 million. Now, you had somebody find this deal for you and bring it to you. Were they on your team? Was it an outside source? How did this deal come about?
We had our acquisition manager who is always scouring the MLS, looking for deals, actually find this and bring it to us. It was a short sale listed on the MLS, and one of the key points that I'd love to communicate here is that when you're playing in the investment space above 2 million, even higher, especially here in Vegas, you become one of maybe 5 people that could potentially buy that house, renovate that house, and go sell it. Not only do you have to have huge balls to go do that, but also you have to have everything in order. You have to have lenders. You have to have your private money if you're using that. Contractors. And there's just not a lot of people that have that all lined up. There are a lot of people lined up for the $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 houses. But when you start playing in this space, you realize you kind of have a lot of freedom and you don't have that competition breathing down your neck.
Well, that's a good point. So Jamil, on the Keegley side, what would you say is the percentage of your buyers for a median household or a median sales price versus $1 million plus?
I mean, it's 95 to 5.
Yeah.
Right, 95% of our buyers are in that median price point up to $1 million, and you know, beyond that, it's such a it drastically drops off. You know what I mean? So luxury, we have luxury buyers, but like these gentlemen just said, you're literally talking about a handful of people, right? There's not a lot of people that have the know-how, the design skills, the contractors, the money, the, like they said, balls to get involved. Because look, you make one wrong turn in a luxury flip and you can be out of the game for life.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, it's not something where you get these opportunities to mess up and then say, hey, I learned from this, right? You don't fail forward in luxury flips, you fail to death. It's done. Like, you mess up one time, it's done.
Yeah,
right?
Game over.
So knowing that, you've got to, like they said, you got to have everything lined up, and you've got to be so precise with not only the houses you're buying, but also your plan. The other part that I think is really smart about what the Bulkley brothers are doing is they're not going after land and doing ground up construction. At that price point, can you imagine the permit delays and all the
Takes
stuff?
so long.
Is that why you stay away from that?
It is.
It's why we've stayed away from it is, you know, really the length of time. You know, when we're flipping homes, we're used to turning and burning as an active cash flow.
Yeah.
We want to try to make the money as fast as possible and turn it right back around into more deals. Having that much tied up for possibly a year and a half, 2 years to build a 7,000 square foot home is a long time to tie money up.
Right.
That's interesting. So it's a completely different buyer, right? So if I'm brand new to wholesale and I'm watching this video on Jamil's channel, I want to find a deal. As a wholesaler, and I want to go to you guys, because essentially, if I have you guys as a buyer, I have one of 5 people that can take down these monster deals. There's not a lot of wholesalers chasing down these deals.
No.
There's not.
So low competition, right? What are some of my first steps? How do I find these deals? What are some key components? And how do I, you know, like Jamil will sometimes teach, it's okay to go lock up a deal and then go find a buyer.
Right.
Is this industry of the luxury flips, is it kind of the reverse? You need to find a buyer first before you start messing around in the luxury?
Yeah, it's totally opposite.
Yeah.
I would say that your number one thing would be to start at the finish line and find that buyer and understand what they're absolutely not willing to buy, and understand ideally what they would like, to really get your ducks in a row so you're not wasting your time, you're not wasting their time. The last thing we want is for people to continually bring us deals that just don't work for obvious reasons. So become knowledgeable about what that buyer needs and what they really want to avoid, because there are very specific things we and a lot of other luxury flippers will not buy.
What if
no
I'm a
matter
wholesaler that's worried about somebody going behind me? Like, I get a lead and I'm talking to the seller, and then I go talk to the Boeckle brothers or some other guy in town, the Boeckle brothers, your competitors.
The evil arch nemesis.
Yeah, your evil arch nemesis. How do I avoid that, or is that not something I should even be worried about?
With us, I would never worry about that. Bring us a deal. Let's write something up between us to make you feel happy, and let's come up with a fee, or let's come up with a percentage, or whatever it is. But bring us in and let us work on the deal so that we don't have to play telephone and work through things. If you feel like you're worried about us going around you, great, let's sign something. We're happy to pay wholesalers whatever is right, because if they make money, they're successful, they're going to be happy to go out and find us another deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the biggest assignment fee you guys have paid a wholesaler on a flip?
We're not really concerned with the assignment fees, but we've paid 6-figure assignment fees on these luxury flips, and there's no problem with that.
Yeah.
You know,
For some wholesalers, that's like half the year's worth of assignment fees. You know, like some guys are shooting for, how do I make 20 grand a month on wholesale?
Sure.
You get 2 of these deals done, you're done.
even us, you know, we wholesale a lot of properties as well, and we wholesale properties directly off the MLS too. On one that we just recently did back in May, it was a $148,000 wholesale fee from the MLS, and then we did one in March of 2020 that was a $342,000 wholesale fee.
Jeez,
Is this why you tell people to go on the MLS, Jamil?
I mean, look, the bottom line is that when you are already chasing a house where a seller has expressly said, I want to sell, it's a different conversation than when you just randomly pop up, call up a person with high equity and say, are you interested in selling?
Totally.
Right? Like, that person needs to be finessed, convinced, talked to. Like, there's an entire different mindset when you're reaching out to a, you know, home. Not that it doesn't work, of course, you lock up direct to seller deals all the time, but it's a conversation where you're like, that person's like, you know, I haven't really thought about selling yet, or, you know, I've been thinking about it but haven't gotten around to it. And so, like, you're dragging that person across the finish line. With a already listed property, that's at the finish line now. All we're doing is getting the price acceptance.
That's what we tell all our students, is there's literally 10,000 people on the MLS here in Vegas raising their hand saying, I am ready to sell my house.
Right.
And that's
This
hard
is
to
interesting.
find.
This is kind of like if you were, let's say you're a single guy and you want to go find a girl to take on a date.
Yeah.
Do you just talk to a girl on the random street corner, or or like in a shopping center or wherever, or do you go on a dating app where they already say,
Right.
Express the interest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, that's the thing, right? And that, bro, you couldn't have used a better analogy, right? Because it's like you like, imagine this, right? You go to, you say you're like one of those guys that creeps on girls at Trader Joe's. You know what I mean? Like, she could be married, she could be uninterested, she could be, you know, not into other team. Like, there's so many things that could be going on there. And then your confidence, your everything about like what you're doing, you don't even know that there's 30 other factors that are making her say no or making him say no today, right? Then, and all of a sudden you're putting it on yourself to say, I suck, or I'm not good at this, or I should quit, or like, this is too hard, or whatever limiting belief that you're putting on yourself. There's so many more factors that you add when you are trying to just randomly cold call people, you know, off the street to see if they want to sell. Like the Bulkley brothers just said, these are 7,000 folks who raised their hand and said, I'm a seller.
Yep.
Right? It's like basically using a dating app. It's like, hi, I'm ready to date. Let's hang out.
You just gotta swipe left and go, that's not the deal I want, or swipe right, that's the deal I want.
Essentially, at the end of the day, all we're talking about here is, hey, you want to sell? Let's determine whether or not you're motivated and if we can come to terms with price. And I think that when you have a real estate agent involved in the deal, that advocate is rational, mainly, right? And they understand the market. And then if you stack the situation in your favor by allowing dual representation, so they make an extra 3%, and then also dangle the carrot of future opportunity, maybe a future listing, whatever it is, that you can make this agent feel comfortable or make them incentivized to do business with you. Now we're talking about having them play on your team. And all of a sudden you got the Trojan horse, bro, because you've got the real estate agent playing on your team who's
infiltrated the camp.
And once you prove that you're a performer and you actually start closing on deals with some of these high producers in town. I mean, my phone's ringing all day, every day with agents that are bringing us listings before they hit the market now. Hey, this one's beat up. They're nervous to put it on the market.
Yeah.
So they call us to come look at it first.
Right. So let me just ask you guys, how much money did you spend on skip tracing and list this year?
Big fat zero.
This much. This is our marketing cost on a monthly basis, is literally $0. Our acquisition team gets paid through the commissions on the deal, because when you list it on the market, the seller pays a listing agent commission and a buyer's agent commission. Well, our acquisition guy gets paid through our buyer's agent commission.
Right.
Okay, so I'm a new wholesaler, and I'm in Vegas, or maybe I'm working with some of your guys' students in your guys' program in your community. How do I get money, my hands on money, in the next 60 days as a wholesaler, working with people? And essentially, what I like about the luxury market, what we talked about yesterday in Wholesale Hotline, is that there's a lot less competition.
Yeah.
So how do I jump in? What's my first step? What do I look for? Who do I talk to? What are my first steps?
I think you'd have to find us, right? You'd have to come to us and maybe finding one person like us would be great.
How do I find a Bulkley brother in let's say, Arkansas?
You talk to a Keekley, or you go and look at what is on the market right now.
Yeah.
Like there is no better indicator of who's doing business than people who are doing business, right? So go find out what's listed, go see what's active, have conversations. It's a little bit of research that you do. You go to. We know that Privy is one of the best softwares. Which, by the way, if your students haven't gotten on it yet, you got to put them on it. It's like one of the most incredible softwares that exist. It has direct to MLS feed, so it's getting, but it also has an algorithm that runs the mathematics.
Like a deal evaluator?
Yes. And
Wow.
it'll tell you, it'll identify what opportunities are underpriced.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like, if you've got folks that are out there looking at the MLS, but they're spending hours and hours and hours trying to evaluate deals, and then they're like, after spending 6 hours comping every house, we found these 10. It basically starts you at the 10.
Wow.
It does the math.
Kind of gives you that low-hanging fruit.
Exactly. So
It's funny because we kind of built our internal piece of software for us to use.
Yeah.
And it had its internal calculations based on our numbers, and it would pull MLS data. But what it would do is it would give us a list price to list price to our purchase price ratio. So what percentage could we buy that house at based on where it's listed now?
Wow.
And then you target those that are
So
90%
basically you guys
and above.
built Privy, but it's your version.
Yeah.
So it's Privy.
It's Brivy
Right.
for the
It's a Brivy.
With the B.
Yeah.
So anything, really 80% purchase to list price and up is what we sent our agents out to attack on, and we made a lot of money from that.
Because they're having
software.
conversations like, I'm an investor, but I'm willing to give you 90% of what you're asking.
Okay, so what about, are you guys hiring? Are you guys looking for more acquisition people? Are you looking for more people that are doing agent outreach and maybe doing more wholesale this year? Because I know 2023 is going to be more challenging for flips. So is there room on your guys' team to just come in and work underneath you guys?
I think the best person would be doing agent outreach, building the awareness of the fact that we're buyers and who we are, to funnel activity into our already established acquisition team so they can just be looking at more opportunities.
Yeah. I would also like to network and have more wholesalers out there that are bringing us deals.
Yeah.
Our acquisitions team, MLS-wise, is doing really well, but our wholesaler network, we're not looking at as many deals as I'd like to be looking at from our wholesale
Plus
network
you've
and
got
partnering with
connections
them.
to different buyers, right? So like, this and this deal could sell to that guy, this deal could sell to this person and whatnot. So if you had more wholesalers bringing you opportunities, in fact, I've got, and Pace has hundreds of students in Las Vegas, all looking at deals. All of them have a real understanding of underwriting and looking at and being able to evaluate great opportunities. And so tonight, when we're at our meetup, you guys should come to that, and we should say, hey guys, look, we got the Boeckle brothers over here. If you guys are ever finding anything that's potential wholesale opportunity, make sure that
That would be awesome.
Essentially, you're gonna be able to meet 500 or 600 JV partners in one opportunity.
Amazing.
Wow, that'd be great. Thank you for that.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's great for the students and it's great for you. Yeah.
So we're heading over to the Boeckle brothers' house right now, and we're going to go through and have Jamil critique the Boeckle brothers' house. And the name of the video is actually going to be called "What Jamil Hates."
Jamil hates everything.
Okay. And we're going to have a lot of fun. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you go to the Boeckle brothers YouTube channel. Give them some love. Their link to their YouTube channel will be down in the description. And give Jamil a like. Right? He's asked you enough times. Let me come in and ask you. Give him a damn like. Share this with your mom, whoever you got to share it with. And we'll see you guys in the next video as Jamil talks about the things he hates about a $5.5 million luxury flip.
I hate it.
Hate it.
Thanks for watching another one of my YouTube videos. Now it's your turn to go out and take some action. But before you do, like and subscribe to my channel because the law of reciprocity means you owe me, bitch.